Hey there, yogis. I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Thanks for joining me today. Today's yoga therapy session is tailored for those that are suffering with elbow tendinopathy or tennis elbow. So I'm going to take you through a few therapeutic strengthening and stretching exercises which you can do at home. We will use a block for one of these exercises, so if you have a yoga block, grab it. If you don't, you can improvise with anything that's a similar shape. So we want something solid that is about shoulder width apart. And we'll use that towards the end of the class. Before we move on to those therapeutic exercises, I do ask that you consider which activity you are doing that has potentially aggravated or caused the injury. So it's usually repetitive movement or misuse. So just while the elbow is in the acute phase, while it's quite sore and angry, you want to reduce or eliminate that repetitive movement just until things settle down. And then also consider the inflammation in the body. So you might need to ice the elbow, you might need to use anti-inflammatory creams, even consider an anti-inflammatory diet as well. And the last thing before we move on to those exercises is self-massage. It's really important if you're suffering tennis elbow to massage the arm daily and multiple times a day. And it only has to be for a couple of minutes at a time. So the massage is quite simple. The muscles and tendons that we're targeting run from the elbow down to the wrist. So you might begin with a cross fiber action. You could just use 2 fingers if you like, and just moving side to side. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time massaging because you can obviously play at home in your own time and take as long as you like. So again, you could consider that cross fiber movement or a circular motion, even with the thumb or with the fingers. So slightly above the elbow is good too, and obviously just below. It won't take long to find those tender spots. So again, please massage multiple times a day. It will make the world of difference. And it's something that you can do while you're watching TV even. So we'll leave that there. Moving on to our exercises now. We'll begin with the elbows bent, just starting nice and easy. So comfortable bend in the elbows and just making a circular motion through the wrists. And let's extend those fingers out. So we're reaching and stretching through the fingers as well. And you can take that in both directions. And if this is strong enough, then do keep the elbows bent. It's going to be a little bit stronger if we straighten the arms now. Curl the fingers under and then lifting them up. For a deeper stretch sensation, next time we curl the hand down, you can either hold it there or you can use your other hand to apply a little bit more pressure. With these stretching exercises, we need to hold for a minimum of 12 seconds. So I'd be looking for at least 15 to 20 seconds hold. You could stay there or slightly different angle to turn the fingers in a little and keep applying that pressure. And it's just a very subtle change there, different sensation down the outside of the arm. So again, you could hold that for quite a few seconds. Another alternative that we can do is if we straighten the arm, so we're pronating the arm, so the thumb is pointing down. That's going to make the stretch a little bit more intense. So that's my left arm. I'm crossing my right arm over the top, interlacing those fingers. And then I'm gently going to use my right hand to take my left hand further to the left. So I'm drawing it that way. And that, again, is going to intensify that stretch along the arm. Holding it again for at least 15 seconds. And then you can relax, shake it out, roll it out. From here, let's interlace the fingers. Press the palms away. You can round the upper back a little. And then as you inhale, lifting those arms up. Exhale, hands down to heart height, round the upper back. And last time, inhaling, arms up. We'll just take a very gentle tricep stretch here. You can release the fingers. Bend your right arm. Take your left hand to that right elbow. Just a few breaths. and then you can change sides when you're ready. Try to keep the jaw relaxed. And let's lower down. Well done, yogi. So moving on to some more strengthening work now. Coming over into a tabletop position. So coming onto hands and knees. We won't use the block just yet. And come down onto those forearms. Make sure the elbows are underneath the shoulders. So we're beginning with the palms down and the fingers spread wide. Gently draw your shoulders back towards your hips and broaden the collarbones. And keep that switched on through the shoulders. As you slowly start to inhale, lifting up the thumb so the palms are facing one another, and then rotating all the way over so the palms are now facing the ceiling. Then as we exhale, let's move very slowly in the opposite direction. Again, keeping those shoulders drawing up towards the hips. We want to do at least 10 rounds. Great work, yogis. Let's finish here. And just briefly reach the arms out in front, high up on those fingertips, so palms are lifted off the mat and the elbows. See if you can bring your forehead down to the floor. You can always rest it on your block or your book, whatever prop you're using. Gently draw the shoulders up towards the hips. Again, we're not here for long. And release. Coming all the way up again. Recruiting your prop now, your block or your book, whatever you have, and then returning back down to those forearms. So this time we've got the prop in between the hands, and we want the block to line up with the heel of the palms. Fingertips will overlap at the top. So 2 actions here. We want to squeeze the hands in on the block and press the hands down into the mat. So it's not only good for the elbows, but also the shoulders too. A little bit of shoulder therapy. So squeezing in, pressing down. You can drop the head, relax the neck, and again, trying to broaden the shoulders. So just maintaining that gentle pressure in and down. Keep the jaw relaxed. Let's remove the block and we'll take another puppy pose. So keeping the bottom up nice and high. This time bring the elbows a little closer together. Hands will move into prayer and lifting up above the head. And lower those hands down. Let's lift on up. Great work, yogis. So just a couple of strengthening and stretching exercises there for you. Again, don't underestimate the power of self-massage, something that I would be addressing multiple times a day. And just one other tip for you. Going forward, once the elbow has recovered and you return to your planks and your chaturangas, something to be mindful alignment-wise so that we don't have this occur again. When you come into your plank position, you want to spread the fingers out nice and wide. And we're pressing into the pads of the fingers. It's almost as though you're trying to make a fist with your hand, but you don't. But be careful that you're not clawing the mat. It's the pads of the fingers that we're pressing into. So it will almost feel as though the middle of the palm is lifting up, much like a suction cup. So with that action, then try to turn the heels of the palms in a little. So you're trying to go like that, but you're not actually. And what this is doing is just creating a little more muscular activation around the wrist and around the elbow. So it's going to support you a lot better. So you can practice this with the knees on the floor, making it a little bit lighter, just lifting up the feet. Otherwise, toes tucking under. We want to round the upper back a little. Again, press into the pads of the fingers, heels of the palms turning in, body can come forward just a little, and then when you lower, either with the knees down or up, you want to make sure the elbows brush the ribs, so the elbows are pointing straight back towards the feet. We don't want any chicken wings with the elbows out to the side. Thanks, yogis, for practicing with me. I hope that you find some relief soon with those exercises. If there's anything else that you would like to work on, feel free to make those requests in the comments below. The intention of this channel is to help cultivate your home practice. Thanks, yogis. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Have a lovely day.